Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. In today's video, we're going to briefly analyze how Busquets and Messi played a key role in Barcelona's Copa del Rey triumph over Athletic Club. When we break down the game and we do look at the board, we have Barcelona in a 3-5-2 and Athletic starting the game in a 4-4-2. So first, we're going to break down how Athletic looked to stop Barcelona from building out of the back, break down Barcelona's overall attacking scheme, and then look to see how Messi and Busquets played a key role in their success. So when we look at Athletic, what we end up seeing is that they end up dropping off into two banks of four. And what we initially highlight is Barcelona having a 3v2 advantage against the front two. So Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams were sitting between Busquets, and the manner in which Bilbao looked to overcome that is by having Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams stepping to the center backs, and if the spare center back was Lenglet, Berenguer would step forward, and if Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams closed down Lenglet and Piqué, Muniain would step forward to Mingueza. That means that you do have DeMarcos and Balenciaga stepping in towards the fullbacks. But what should also be highlighted here is that if Muniain is stepping towards Mingueza, then Berenguer could close down Jordi Alba. And if Berenguer is closing down Lenglet, then you would see Muniain stepping towards Dest. Nevertheless, you have the fullbacks closing down the wingbacks if needed, and then in that midfield zone, it should be Unai Lopez and Dani Garcia closing down Pedri and De Jong. The problem with Athletic's press here was that if Barca were able to get the ball out to Jordi Alba or Dest, even with pressure, they were able to square the ball freely to Busquets because Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams were immediately stepping forward to close down one of the center backs. Therefore, an effective alternative for Athletic Club would see Inaki Williams stepping to Piqué, the wider players closing down Lenglet and Mingueza, Raul Garcia sitting on Busquets, with Unai Lopez and Dani Garcia closing down the midfield shuttlers, and then having DeMarcos and Balenciaga stepping high to close down Dest. If Busquets dropped between the center backs, that would be beneficial for Athletic Club because you were able to have Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams closing down Piqué and Busquets, and then Muniain and Berenguer stepping forward to close down Mingueza and Lenglet. If we look to some examples, here you could see Muniain closing down Mingueza, with Balenciaga stepping high towards Dest, and Dani Garcia closer to Frenkie de Jong. Here we see Busquets dropping in between the center backs, and you have Inaki Williams closing him down with Raul Garcia on Piqué, and you could see Muniain and Berenguer closing down Mingueza and Lenglet, with Dani Garcia pushing a bit higher up the pitch to close down De Jong. Therefore, when we focus on Barcelona, what you end up seeing is that in their 3-5-2, they have Jordi Alba and Serginho Dest pushing higher up the pitch to peg back Balenciaga and DeMarcos. Now, what you see from Dest was that he was struggling to beat Balenciaga in 1v1 duels, and Jordi Alba was looking to break in behind DeMarcos, who often tucked in a bit narrow. That's because Griezmann's positioning up front did see him looking to sit in between DeMarcos and the Yuri Alvarez gap, or he was dropping off deeper or looking to peel into space off Alvarez's shoulder. There were times where we did witness Lenglet and Mingueza carrying the ball higher up the pitch, but when you look at Barcelona's back three, they ultimately have a 4v2 advantage against Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams, with Busquets occupying a deeper role. So similar to the high press, if Raul Garcia and Inaki Williams weren't sitting on Busquets and stepping forward to apply pressure to the center backs, Barcelona were able to play around that press to get Busquets on the ball, and then you wouldn't have Unai Lopez or Dani Garcia able to apply instant pressure because they were dealing with the positioning of Pedri and De Jong. So it was no surprise that whenever Barcelona were able to create chances, it often started from Busquets, who was often free in that midfield zone. Pedri and De Jong were looking to play into those gaps between Berenguer and Unai Lopez, and Dani Garcia and Muniain. But it was De Jong in particular who was often pushing forward and making runs beyond Dani Garcia to break in between the center backs or in between the center backs and the fullbacks. Messi was dropping off deeper away from Inigo Martinez into pocket to space in that inside right position, and that's where you would often see De Jong occupying the center back or the fullback, and Messi would look to pick up the ball in that deep pocket of space ahead of Muniain or to the right of him. What you'd also see from De Jong was that he would shift over to the inside right position if Messi was a bit higher or deeper towards the touchline in space behind Dest to try and receive the ball away from Dani Garcia, and at times looking to create 3v2 overloads as Mingueza was pushing higher to peg back Munayin, but Barcelona struggled to create any attacking schemes from that 3v2 overload. Nevertheless, while there were several standout Barcelona performances, this was about Messi and Busquets finding space in deeper positions to pick out the runs of Jordi Alba breaking him behind DeMarcos, Griezmann darting into that DeMarcos Yuri Alvarez gap or running off the center back, and Frenkie de Jong also looking to make forward runs, which ultimately helped Barcelona create high quality chances. Initially, we see Messi picking up the ball towards the inside right position just ahead of Munayin from De Jong. And what happens next is that Messi looks to push forward to run at Munayin, and he drags Dani Garcia towards him, and that's where you end up seeing the 2v1 just ahead of Messi. From this position, Messi opts to slide the ball to Busquets unmarked, and that's where you see De Jong looking to push forward and Messi beginning to make a run off Dani Garcia and Balenciaga towards the right half space. With time and space, Busquets locates that run and he clips it over the athletic backline for Messi running in beyond Balenciaga. And with Griezmann looking to run across Yuri Alvarez to take him out of the game, it leaves De Jong free for the Messi pullback, but he fires his first time effort off the post. Here we see Lenglet carrying the ball beyond Inaki Williams and sliding it to Busquets in the halfway circle. When Busquets receives the ball, he's instantly behind Inaki Williams and Raul Garcia, and he's looking to switch the ball out to Dest as Munayin is tucked in narrow with Frenkie de Jong. When the Barcelona right back receives the ball from Busquets, he drops it off to Messi, who's positioned in an inside right position just ahead of Munayin and Balenciaga. And as Messi looks to carry the ball forward, he runs at Munayin, and you see De Jong occupying Inigo Martinez but creating a large gap between the center backs, and Griezmann looking to run in between Yuri Alvarez and DeMarcos. Messi plays the ball through that gap for Griezmann's run, and although he evades pressure from Unai Simon, he has Frenkie de Jong making a run in towards the box to drag out defenders, but he ends up pulling it back to Lionel Messi, but Messi's shot is blocked by a late Dani Garcia challenge. Here we have Mingueza on the ball ahead of Berenguer, and you have Busquets unmarked to the left of Inaki, Messi free between the lines, and De Jong pulling out Balenciaga. When Mingueza plays the ball to Busquets, he instantly has a gap for the slate stepping Dani Garcia and Balenciaga for Dest, and still no one steps to Messi. When the Barcelona right back receives the ball, Balenciaga looks to shift across, but Dest is able to simply drop the ball off to Messi, and that's where you now have Messi picking up the ball and running at the back four, and you could see Dest's initial movement with the run in between Balenciaga and Inigo Martinez, but as Messi continues towards the athletic box, you end up seeing four athletic players swarm towards him, and you could see the runs of Dest and Griezmann free in towards the box. When Messi splits the left back and the center back, Dest is able to pull out Yuri Alvarez, but look at Griezmann making a run across the right back into a good position in the 6-yard box. Dest ends up playing that ball through the 6-yard box, but Unai Simon denies Griezmann from point-blank range. In the build-up to Barcelona's winner, Busquets slides the ball between Dani Garcia and Berenguer for Messi free between the lines, and you have De Jong towards the touchline. When Messi receives the ball, he instantly turns to run at the back four, and you have Griezmann and Dest looking to make runs on the outside of the fullbacks, and De Jong free towards the right touchline. As Messi carries the ball forward, Dest looks to make a similar run in between Inigo Martinez and Balenciaga, and rather than looking to play that ball in behind the Bilbao defense once again, Messi looks to shift towards his right, and he has Griezmann making a free run behind the right back tucking in narrow, and De Jong speeding forward down the right touchline. Messi takes away 3 Bilbao players and opts to slide the ball towards De Jong. That's when you locate the positioning of Griezmann beyond the right back, unmarked once again, breaking towards the 6-yard box. And this time, when De Jong looks to play the ball through the box, Griezmann makes no mistake. So as you can see, Athletic Club had no real answer for Barcelona's 3-5-2. And while De Jong and Griezmann do deserve credit for this performance, it was Messi and Busquets who unlocked the keys for Barcelona to create high-quality chances. Hi everybody, thanks for watching and subscribe here for your latest tactical analysis and daily commentary on the InnerViews show. And if that wasn't enough, don't forget you could find more organic, unfiltered soccer/football analysis on the InnerViews podcast, the best soccer/football podcast in the world, available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and any Android apps on your Android devices.